Saturday night in the NLL. Welcome to week 5 and welcome to the nation's capital. A chilly night in Ottawa. It's the 1-2 Black Bears returning home to face the 1-1 Philadelphia Wings. And welcome inside the Canadian Tire Centre. Thrilled to be joined by Steven Stamp. My name is Matt Cullen. Brianne Foley from the floor joins us shortly. Now for this game, lots of storylines to focus on, but we're going to start with a former Black Bear returning to Ottawa, and that's Eric Fennell, who's now playing well with the Wings here, Steven.
He is, and they are thrilled to have him joining this lineup. They love what he brings. Ian Rubel, the head coach, said he's very familiar. He's coached Fennell a lot. He sees him adding much to their game in the loss of Mitch Jones from last year. So Fennell taking on a big role for this club.
Fennell can do it offensively. He can also help out on the back end from time to time as well. 15 points in 9 games for the Black Bears last year. He will be looking for a little bit of revenge today in his return to the Canadian Tire Centre. And now let's move to the home side, because the Black Bears, it's been an up and down start to the season so far. They've looked great in spurts, and then in other times they have looked like the offense has had no solutions. But Jeff Teat seems to be the motor alongside Rob Hellier.
And Hellier is such a big addition, and Jeff Teat loves having Hellier with him. They love working as a duo. Teat, we all know, he's, if not the best offensive player in the sport, one of the very best, and he is loving it. He is, I think, enjoying not being the leading scorer. He's not going to mind if he leads this team in scoring, but I think he likes having someone else putting up a bunch of points, so there's not all the attention from the opponents focused on him as well.
Hellier number 1 in NLL scoring, Teat number 3. Here's how these two match up. The first and only meeting between Ottawa and Philadelphia. The Black Bears used a hidden ball trick. Yes, the old hidden ball trick en route to a 13-5 win last March. Where do those get off to here? Here we go. Good stuff there. Way to go. Got off to a good start.
Was I a little short on Fennell?
Maybe a little bit, but I had a couple notes there as well, so all good. It's hard to know as well, you know how. Maybe it was a little harsh on Ottawa, saying at times their offenses looked like they've had no answers or no solutions. That's maybe a bit rough, but I don't know. Is it worth redoing it? It is kind of true. It is kind of true, but what do you think, Logan? Oh, I was just saying, when I was going from Fennell into the Black Bears, I said the offenses look great at times, and other times it looks like it's had no answers or no solutions or something like that. Is that maybe unfairly harsh? What do you think? Is it worth redoing? No, minor point. Coach is gonna call me downstairs after the game. I didn't quite mean it for that, but I mean, I think it's fair to say that it just hasn't been consistent. Yeah, I didn't get any ice. Nobody gives me ice cream around here. All right. Okay, let's go with number 2 when you're ready. No rush. I mean, they have gone down 6-0 and 9-1 in games. Like, I think that's there is some some merit there. Yeah. ESPN Plus, TSN Plus. The NLL on ESPN Plus and TSN Plus is brought to you by XTX Lacrosse and Nike Lacrosse, the official equipment providers of the NLL, and by TFL Sports. Collect the stars. Sorry, let's do it one more time here, guys. Sorry. Do you want to give, I forget how, do you want to just give me a next when it's time to go to the next one? Just because I'm going to be on a delay. So why don't you give me a cue at the beginning and just say next whenever we go from, Nike to TFL. Perfect, thank you. Oh, you'll follow my lead? Oh, perfect. Okay, I'll do that then, great. The NLL on ESPN Plus and TSN Plus is brought to you by XTX Lacrosse and Nike Lacrosse, the official equipment providers of the NLL, and by TFL Sports. Collect the stars of the National Lacrosse League with officially licensed trading cards and sticker albums. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL. Yeah, I think so. Is there any, there's another one to do here, right?
It's about that time. The players are ready. My question is, are you ready? The Black Bears are about to hit the floor. The opening shot.
Okay, ready when you are.
Get ready to make some noise. Who's ready?
Now, do I say the NLL on ESPN and TSN? We're on both. Okay. Cool. The NLL on ESPN and TSN is brought to you by Kilo. Stay energized for every moment of NLL action with Kilo. Visit drinkkilo.com. And by Hotel Planner. Travel smarter with exclusive NLL fan discounts at NLL. They turned the lights out on me here. The NLL on ESPN and TSN is brought to you by Kilo. Stay energized for every moment of NLL action with Kilo. Visit drinkkilo.com. And by Hotel Planner. Travel smarter with exclusive NLL fan discounts at nll.hotelplanner.com. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL.
last gleaming, whose
Saturday night in the NLL. Welcome to week 5 and welcome to the nation's capital. A chilly night in Ottawa. It's the 1-2 Black Bears returning home to face the 1-1 Philadelphia Wings. And welcome inside the Canadian Tire Centre. Thrilled to be joined by Steven Stamp. My name is Matt Cullen. Brianne Foley from the floor joins us shortly. Now for this game, lots of storylines to focus on, but we're going to start with a former Black Bear returning to Ottawa, and that's Eric Fennell, who's now playing well with the Wings here, Steven.
He is, and they are thrilled to have him joining this lineup. They love what he brings. Ian Rubel, the head coach, said he's very familiar. He's coached Fennell a lot. He sees him adding much to their game in the loss of Mitch Jones from last year. So Fennell taking on a big role for this club.
Fennell can do it offensively. He can also help out on the back end from time to time as well. 15 points in 9 games for the Black Bears last year. He will be looking for a little bit of revenge today in his return to the Canadian Tire Centre. And now let's move to the home side, because the Black Bears, it's been an up and down start to the season so far. They've looked great in spurts, and then in other times they have looked like the offense has had no solutions. But Jeff Teat seems to be the motor alongside Rob Hellier.
And Hellier is such a big addition, and Jeff Teat loves having Hellier with him. They love working as a duo. Teat, we all know he's, if not the best offensive player in the sport, one of the very best, and he is loving it. He is, I think, enjoying not being the leading scorer. He's not going to mind if he leads this team in scoring, but I think he likes having someone else putting up a bunch of points, so there's not all the attention from the opponents focused on him as well.
Hellier number 1 in NLL scoring, Teat number 3. Here's how these two match up. The first and only meeting between Ottawa and Philadelphia. The Black Bears used a hidden ball trick. Yes, the old hidden ball trick en route to a 13-5 win last March. Let's meet the starting goaltenders for this evening. 27-year-old Nick Demude makes his 3rd start of the season. Stopped 38 of 53 in a raucous affair in Rochester that involved not just dropping the mitts, but taking off the equipment in a big scrap. We'll see what he has in mind today for Zach Higgins, the former Philadelphia Wing. Plays just his former team for the 2nd time, has a 1-0 record, and only gave up 5 goals against the Wings last year in that 13-5 win that we just mentioned. So, It's an important game because 13 of the 14 teams in the NLL here, Stephen, have already picked up one win. Standings are very tight, and these two teams are both right in the thick of it. Ottawa with the first possession here tonight. Rob Hellier, mentioned #1 in NLL scoring. The veteran has still got that offensive touch, tries to go inside. That one just out of the reach of his intended target. Winds back to Teep. He lets it go. Damian watches that sail over his shoulder and back into Ottawa territory.
And we're very used to seeing Larson Sundown behind the net. He went in there, and Jeff Teet was actually back there as well. They had the two of them behind the goal line for a bit. So Sundown cleared out to give Teet that space, which you're going to do for Jeff Teet.
Taken back again by Sundown. Fires off into the corner and taken back by Hellier. Hellier takes a good look at the Philadelphia defense, and now Teet, a bit of room to operate. Coming off a 5-point game of goal and 4 assists in Las Vegas, and what was a comeback effort that fell just short. Damian makes this save, he traps it in his equipment, and another save for the Philadelphia starter.
Pretty nice east to west movement for the Black Bears. That's what they want to do, is get things going. They want to score early. They've had some lapses. They went 22 minutes before they scored against San Diego the opening week, 25 minutes before they scored against Vegas. They don't want to see that happen again. They want to start more quickly.
That was the main message from Dan McCray, the head coach, wanting a better start, particularly in the first quarter, not going down early. And there's Higgins with his first fine save of the evening.
Pretty good look for Blaze Reardon in tight. Zach Higgins, one of the busiest goalies in the league, tends to see a ton of shots. He doesn't mind seeing a lot of shots as long as they're shots he wants to see. That was not one you want to have him giving up a lot or facing a lot.
Approaching the 2-minute mark here, early on, first quarter. Busy night in the NLL. There's the shot, scores Firth. Cashes in Ottawa's first, and that's his second of the season. And for Ottawa, that's a much-needed depth scoring.
That is huge. Sam Firth, a local native. He spent much of his life playing lacrosse. Stone's throw from this arena. He is looking pretty comfortable letting this one rip. And you'll see how ready he is when this ball gets to him. He's ready to shoot. He's not a primary shooter, but he is always ready. And they are just a little slow getting over defensively, the Wings are. And what a break. We mentioned 22 minutes against San Diego, 25 against Las Vegas. They're feeling pretty good scoring in the first 2 minutes.
Firth, a former 20-goal scorer with Albany, came over in the trade for Taggart Clark and sent the former Black Bear to the Firewolves. So Firth on the board first, and Ottawa ahead. Taken back, Roulette is able to get this ball over half, and Philadelphia will try and get the offense onto the floor here. Taken back by Dalton Young, who leads all rookies with 6 assists this year. In a battle, though, against 3 Black Bears, and Young does well. Dalton Young in towards the middle, and then he's checked from behind. A good pursuit there from Sanders.
Nobody comes back harder defensively than a player who just lost his check. Jacob Saunders, a really solid effort for most of that shift. Lost Young, that left him wide open down the middle. Saunders got back, knocked that ball out of his stick.
Great play from Saunders, and he heads off. The offense comes back on. Played over and into the middle. Hellier now is up top. Played the captain, Teet. Stutter step, ball in and out of his stick, and Teet will go and collect it. Just 2 left on the shot clock, and a shot from range is off the target. Will be Philadelphia ball.
You can see Riley O'Connor going behind the net there. It's such a common setup.
In transition, Philadelphia trying to get one going with Joe Resiteritz. He'll be one of the main wings to watch there. 47 goals, his career high a couple of years ago.
And the highest scoring American in NLL history, highest scoring US born player. So obviously an all-timer, possibly Hall of Famer. Kind of think he's a legit candidate for that. First penalty coming.
Larson Sundown, yes, as Higgins heads off to the bench for an extra attacker. So Ottawa already up 1, now going 6 on 5. Extra attacker is on. Hellier is up top, looks to shoot, plays over, and Firth again. Ball is loose, picked up as it wasn't in Damute's stick. Wraparound attempt, and now it's finally picked up and collected there by Patton. And the first power play of the night going to Ottawa.
Yeah, and the Black Bears did well last week, went 2 of 3 on the power play against Vegas. So the things have been working. Interesting to see Connor Kiernan getting that diving attempt. They really want to get him rolling. He has just 4 points on the season, all of them goals. But Dan McCray was saying, yeah, they'd like to get some more out of him. Although he quickly gave a lot of credit for Hellier's success to Connor Kiernan's work off ball.
Ian Rubel there, the second-year head coach, watching on, 3-time champion as well. Great career on the floor as well. Once again, consistency from his team. Philadelphia has missed the playoffs 4 of 5 years that playoffs have been held since the return of the Wings.
The 1 year they made it, they were the crossover team when we had that cross. The 5th place team in the East went over and played the top team in the West, losing to San Diego in that one.
All play down to Joe Rezaterets, shifting away from defenders. However, there's contact there, and one of the Black Bears, that's Saunders. He's slow to get up after that collision.
Took a big pop in the back, an illegal pick, a little bit too much. You always want to find that line, though, early in a game, see what you can get away with. So I don't think they'll be too upset about getting that call.
Riley O'Connor dances down, back to Teat, back to O'Connor, scores!
Delayed penalty on the play will be wiped out as great movement. And Riley O'Connor, just going to say he's playing so well this year. He's another guy who's benefiting from having Rob Hellier here. And you can just see the way they're moving this ball.
Referees will escort a man back into the penalty box here. Great eye on the delayed call here, Stephen.
Yeah, so right, because they were on the power play, that is a power play goal that will release the player that was in the box, and that beautiful little touch from Riley O'Connor will send the next player into the box.
That's
for
Chris Corbeil.
So
referees tonight, Brett Colombe, Sean Grenier, and Joel Furman. Portland Black Arujo, the timekeeper today, so it's all positive for Ottawa to start up 2-0, and now a 2-minute power play back up on the board again.
They are also very aware that they were up 3-0 on Saskatchewan and then fell behind 7-3, so they are trying very hard to avoid having long stretches where they give up a bunch of goals or don't score.
Ottawa came into tonight 5 of 12, a man up, just under 42%. Now watching as Philadelphia tries to draw one back here, a man down. Ball fired over, it's in and out of the stick of Phil Caputa, who's back in the lineup for the Wings.
Uncle Phil, a nice addition. He was one of the pieces that came over in the big trade between these two teams, which sent Zach Higgins from Philly to Ottawa. We'll talk about that a bit more later in the game.
Minute 5 left in the penalty to Corbeil. Here's Teat, scores! Another power play marker. And it's 3-0 Black Bears.
And another high shot. And Jeff Teat, he's so dangerous as a shooter. You just can't give him this kind of space. It's very difficult when you're on the penalty kill. And then especially when he crosses over to the other side. They run this, obviously the set play, gets a nice pick there from Rob Hellier, and gets the return pass from Connor Kiernan. And it is just brilliantly placed over the shoulder there. And boy, they are aiming high on Nick Damude. We'll see if that's a pattern they stick with throughout the game.
Number 8 on the season for Teat. His 4th power play goal. 28th power play goal of his NLL career. And it's a quick 3-0 run here for the Black Bears early on in this game, but 2 quick power play goals as well.
Whatever they did in terms of tweaking in their warm-ups and their practice has made a difference, as Dan McCray talked about that. They're trying to change some things to get going faster.
More Ottawa towards the goal. That one just missed. Behind the back, what a finish that is.
If only we had Connor Kiernan mic'd up. He is a gem when he's on the mic. We've seen it often. You can't go back to the same guy too often, but boy, he scored one just like this in the preseason. He will score goals like this. Great job picking up that loose ball. It's so hard for the defenders when the ball goes off the backboards. and they have to turn to find it, whereas the forward is looking. You can see it perfectly there. Isaiah Davis-Allen spinning when he identifies where that ball is. Kiernan is already getting this shot away. A beauty behind the back. He is so accurate with that shot over the shoulder.
So Kiernan makes it 4-0 Ottawa. It's Firth, Riley O'Connor, Jeff Teat, and now Connor Kiernan. For O'Connor, that's his 150th NLL goal. That was a couple of goals ago now, made it 2-0. And midway through this first quarter, Ottawa back in possession as Higgins has really had only a couple of possessions to deal with. More Jeff Teat. Up top to Kiernan. Teat ranging towards the middle. Dropped off, driving towards the goal. Kiernan, that shot over top. Picked up quickly by Larson Sundown. Back to the captain, Teat. Fired over. And a shot comes there, and that one misses from McNabb. And it will be Philadelphia ball, but a timeout on the floor as the Black Bears, desperate for some success at home, come roaring out of the gate at the Canadian Tire Center. 8:09 to go, first quarter. 4-0 Black Bears.
Welcome inside the nation's capital, where the Ottawa Black Bears have a 4-0 lead over the Philadelphia Wings. Now, this is a much different start than they had when they went to Vegas, going down 6-0 to start that game. So a much needed turnaround for this team. Of course, they lost that one in a heartbreaker after scoring 8 straight goals, but we're taken advantage of in the end and could not quite find that finish. So this start is exactly what head coach Dan McCray was hoping for today, and we'll see how these guys can keep it going. Matt?
Well, for the Black Bears, Brienne, it is a positive start after a heartbreaking loss. Dan McCray there, head coach and general manager, the youngest in the NLL. A 1-2 start, and we asked him earlier about how he's adjusting now game 4 to life behind the bench in the NLL. More on that here in just a moment as the Wings look for an opening goal. They also do have Deacon Knott, the 23-year-old, in net. Higgins down in the half butterfly, makes a good save there. Reed Kurtz looking for that ball, and he's able to come away with it.
Brendan O'Neill driving to the net. He is such a physical force. And really getting used to this box game. Deacon Knott only played 3 minutes and a bit this year. He did play some games late last year when they were eliminated from the playoffs. Got a couple of wins. They are very comfortable with Deacon Knott between the pipes.
Just has a 2-1 record on his 3-year career, mostly as a backup. Did feature though in the last game in that loss, the rough and tough affair against Rochester, but very limited action. And it looks like he is going to stay in the net, at least for now, with Damude on the bench.
And Damude taking his helmet off. Normally, if a goalie's coming back in right away, it's a quick breather. He'll get the helmet off. Damude looks like he's pretty settled in, running a door.
While we were talking goalies, Sam Firth, the opening goal scorer tonight, heads off, so it's Philadelphia to the man up here for the first time.
And this is where last week Ottawa did not stop Vegas on the power play, gave up 2 power play goals on 2 penalty kills. So they're going to want to change that.
Wings power play comes in just 4 for 8 through its first 2 games. running at 50%. Good stick there coming back from the Black Bears. Ripped away by Brent Noseworthy.
And Noseworthy had jumped out high to check defensively and came back very well to get that stick in the lane. That's a really nice play. Shows the development of a guy who played goalie until he was in the later years of junior lacrosse.
Ottawa's man down was one of the strengths of the team last year, running at 68%. That was the best in the NLL, but this year, off to a slow start, just killing off 33% of the power plays this year. Gets back to work. Reza Terrence fired back towards goal. No shot there from Brendan O'Neill, the Wings' leading scorer. Trying to pass, fired in behind, comes back to O'Neill. Fake now, goes overhand, and that's a beautiful power play goal. Give him number 3 on the season for the 23-year-old. The talented Wings scorer makes it 4-1.
You mentioned Joe Reza Terrence, the all-time leading American scorer. Brendan O'Neill is a guy who's going to climb that list as well. Actually, one of 8 Americans on this roster, I believe the most in the league, and it's going to go from Fennell behind the net over to Reza Terrence, then they're going to find O'Neill, and he is just going to rip this one from the top. And it's interesting to watch because when he started playing in the NLL as a rookie last year, he was very much come from the corner, come over the top and shoot on the run, very much a field kind of style. You can see him getting more comfortable with these box sets. That's why you can have him up at the top of the power play, not have to move around a bit.
First power play goal of the season for O'Neill, who scored 25 last year. Breaks up Ottawa's 4-goal run, just under 6 minutes to go. We're just getting started at the Canadian Tire Centre tonight. Happy holidays to all the lacrosse fans out there. It's a busy week in the NLL. All sorts of action happening. We'll check into some of those other games as well. Saskatchewan out on the East Coast visiting Halifax. Toronto Rock also in action as well. But right now it's Ottawa up by 3 goals and back to work offensively. Played over again and ball comes towards the slot area. Collected quickly again, it's O'Neill. Looks back, Reza Terrence backpedals into a corner, wants to set up the offense.
Love Jake McNabb and Connor Kiernan both getting back in transition defense to take away that Philadelphia chance.
Reza Terrence, quick drive, got through Higgins off the post, and Zach Higgins diving back somehow was able to keep that out. A good save and a little luck from the goaltender's best friend.
You always need a little luck. Get a little bit of help. Zach Higgins, so acrobatic. You can see him moving. And that's one thing at the other end. We'll see Deacon Knott, also a very acrobatic young goaltender.
Teat goes back to work. Into the corner. Hellier spins away from defenders. It's illegal contact. It's going to be a penalty as a result here. Looks like it's going to be against the Black Bears.
Yeah, Connor Kiernan, we talked about how hard he's worked, and he'll go and set those picks. He's been doing it all night. That was a little bit too much, but we're going to take a quick break here, Matt, and we'll be back to the Canadian Tire Centre, where it's a 4-1 lead for the Senator, for the Black Bears, but they're going to have to kill a penalty after this.
The National Lacrosse League makes its return to Edmonton on January 16th as the Georgia Swarm match up against the Calgary Roughnecks in the second ever NLL Unboxed Series game. We want you to help bring the energy and excitement to Edmonton for a night to remember. Lyle Thompson and the Swarm, Tanner Cook and the Roughnecks. It's the 2026 NLL Unboxed Series game, Friday, January 16th. Get tickets today.
This is the moment you waited all week for. It's Friday night. Whether you're at home or out on the town, it all starts here. No, he didn't! The weekend starts here with NLL Friday night on TSN.
The NLL on ESPN Plus and TSN Plus is brought to you by XTX Lacrosse and Nike Lacrosse, the official equipment providers of the NLL. And by TFL Sports, collect the stars of the National Lacrosse League with officially licensed trading cards and sticker albums. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL. Offensive zone penalty here against Kieran and the Black Bears, Stephen.
We saw an illegal cross-check or an illegal pick at the other end. This one steps one step further. You can see how zesty Connor Kieran gets here. And that slid up a little bit high. He didn't knock the player down, but it gets onto the shoulder, up towards the head. Yeah, maybe.
So, second opportunity, a man up here for the Wings. Already 1 for 1 here tonight. Ball moving along the perimeter. Once again, a lot of the offense running through Reza Terrence and Brendan O'Neill. O'Neill scores! 2 quick power play markers, and the Wings are back in it, 4-2.
And this is where Dan McRae was talking about they have to watch these runs. They can't let Philadelphia just take off. They were up 3-0 on Saskatchewan, gave up a bunch of goals. Here's a power play goal for Brendan O'Neill, his second of the game. And Ian Rubel was talking about Eric Fennell. Watch this pick that Fennell sets. That is an absolutely huge pick. De-sticking Kevin Brownell, shoving him about 6 feet out of the way. There is nothing but open space for Brendan O'Neill to shoot through there.
And both teams, Stephen, 2 for 2 tonight on the man up.
Yes, not been a great penalty kill night, but boy, there have been some good looks that they're capitalizing on.
Might be one of those nights to try and stay out of the box. So 4 goals to open up here for the Black Bears, countered by 2 quick ones. A man up from the Wings. Ottawa controlling off of the draw. Ottawa has won 5 of the 7 draws so far in this first quarter. Firth taking to Teat, goes into the corner. Larson Sundown, 10 on this clock. Play back over, shot, stop there.
Philly looking to push the pace. They come running here. Both teams obviously like to run. Wagner, one of the alternate captains, will set something going to Reza Terrence.
Reza Terrence, speaking of Reza Terrence, fires in far side, a return pass into the middle, and that one just out of the reach of Sam Leclerc.
Great look from Brendan O'Neill, but about hip high on Leclerc. That is a tough pass to catch when you're coming in full speed, expecting it up around your ears.
Riley O'Connor, who reached goal number 150 earlier on in the quarter, and back on the offensive side of the floor here for the Black Bears. Teague goes into the middle. That pass, though, easily intercepted. Just sort of flew out of his stick, and might be an opportunity in transition here for the Black Bears. Shot from the outside taken by Patton. That one off the mark. Opportunity here for Stevens. Jake Stevens hustling down, shot, and a stop there from Knott, who's really settled this game down here for the Wings.
We're going to have a violation, so the Black Bears will get the ball, and that's going to help them out. Looks like they called it a little check from behind or loose ball push after the shot, after Knott had made that save.
Damage started this game, gave up 4 quick goals, replaced by Deacon Knott. Peterborough native in the net. He's only played 3 full lacrosse games where he's been given a result in his 3-year career, but it's looked sharp here since taking over. Taken back over by Isaiah Davis Allen, the 4th-year transition man, will head off, and Reza Terrence on. Roams towards the slot area. Fired across, now down into the corner. Wings go back to work. Leclerc is up top. Fakes the ball, gets it back to Reza Terrence. One of the danger men here for the Wings. There's a little fake from O'Neill, tries to go underhand, and Higgins does well to keep that one out.
Yeah, it's another big save, and we said Zach Higgins doesn't mind being busy, and he is spectacular in tight. You think getting in close is going to give you a great chance to score, but he doesn't mind.
Speaking of in tight, there's another save from Knott denying Kieran. Kieran's taken into the glass and behind the goal. Ball is loose and picked up again by the Wings. Not an easy way to get the ball over half, but they do it. deflected there and behind. A couple of heavy hits there on Kevin Lynch, who's making a season debut after playing 3 games last year for the Wings. Eventually forced into a turnover, and Reed Kurtz will take over. Ottawa 4, Philadelphia 2, the first and only meeting in the regular season between these two. Here's Teat to the middle. Want to go back short side, missed the target. 3 Wings are there to pick up this ball, including Lynch. On the ball right now again there with Alex Pace.
See the work from Jeff Teat in the back check. He's going to stay and play deep. And I don't know if he's going to get credited with a caused turnover on the last play, but his pressure made that pass up to Lynch very difficult. He never got control of it.
Young passed this ball off, and a shot from the perimeter coming from Eric Fennell. Just missing, and now picked up again. Might be an opportunity here for Brownell. Brownell is in, clear, and he scores! Kevin Brownell, pretty finish, and it's 5-2 Black Bears.
Brownell's second goal of the season, and he is so dangerous when he takes off. The wily veteran wearing an A as an alternate captain for this club, and you can see how fast he is. I love that he whips away here, runs full speed, sees he's got Fennell behind him, knows he'll have a bit of time, and actually slows down to compose himself, is able to throw a couple of really hard fakes here and just tuck it by Deacon Knott, who really, you don't have much chance as a goalie in that situation.
Goal number 49 in his NLL career for the defender and transition specialist.
Deacon
Nice
Knott from
offensive
Curve
touch
Link,
there.
by the way. Just up the road from Peterborough, but yeah, I think he'd like to get that in.
You bet. I love it. 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Ottawa by 3 again. Wings back on, save from the outside. Off of O'Neill as Higgins is able to challenge out. And now he'll go to the bench, extra attacker with less than 10 seconds to go now. Wings all over this ball. Ottawa trying to find a way through. Pass in tight. Sundown misses. Knott will take a stab at the empty net, and oh, what a save! Zach Higgins sprinting back from the bench, denying Deacon Knott, which would have been a terrific first goal. Instead, it's 5-2 Ottawa after 1. Couple of close plays at the very end. Philadelphia ramping up the intensity on defense, and then Knott denied by the veteran Higgins. As we're through 1 quarter here in Ottawa. Quick start here for the Black Bears on a 4-goal run, countered by Philadelphia, but it's 5-2 after 1. The NLL returns to Edmonton as Lyle Thompson and the Swarm host the Roughnecks for the league's 2nd annual NLL Unboxed Series event. Head to Ticketmaster.ca to get your tickets now. Back inside the Canadian Tire Center, where the fans still buzzing after a terrific sprint from Zach Higgins to save a goal. And here's a look at some of the departures here this year, including a couple of big names, starting with Mitch Jones and Mitch DeSnew.
Jones and DeSnew, really the big losses. Jones, second on the team in scoring. He's gone to Vegas, a big contract, and that is a very exciting move for Vegas, but that's a tough one. That's where Eric Fennell has come in. He's not going to replicate that 111 points, but takes some of the role. Mitch DeSnew, they wanted to keep him around, but his work schedule as a doctor and PhD student made it awfully tough. He's in Buffalo now.
So the Wings, who do have a win already on the season, picked up a win on opening day against the Mammoth. Fell against Rochester in the second game. Right now trying to play catch up. And there's Fennell, the former Black Bear, and he's able to get one through Higgins. So a quick response from Philadelphia.
And you can see how excited Eric Fennell is after that goal. Again, they love Ian Rubel said he coached him in junior. They're both Niagara area guys. You can see the big pick and roll. We've had some illegal picks called, so you've got to be careful. That was perfect pressure by Fennell on that pick and roll. And then, of course, the beautiful finish on the other end of it.
Coming off a 5-point effort against the Nighthawks. He's really found his offensive touch, closing in on the 100 goal plateau as well. That's goal number 79 on his career, so a solid season would certainly put him in the conversation there, but more importantly for the Wings here tonight, it's now a 2-goal game again as they remain close. Philadelphia back on the attack after collecting that last draw. Noseworthy watches on, play towards the middle. Higgins makes the save on Reziteris, who is buried in the slot area there on a takedown. Bounce pass comes over to Brownell.
And at the end of that first quarter, you saw Higgins racing up. It's not often. Foot speed is a really critical component for a goalie, but we saw him racing off the bench to stop what would have been, I think, Deacon Knott's first goal in the NLL. That looked like it was on target.
Certainly looked like it was going to be close. Here's Patrick Foley. Hands this ball off here to the Wings offense, and there is Fennell. Cashed in his 5th goal of the season. Back looking for more. Play inside. That one just out of the reach of Phil Caputo. Caputo, a 10-year veteran, second year now with the Wings, taken down. Volkov comes the other way here. Jones into the middle here for Ottawa. Play towards Firth. He's taken down. Teed has to deal with a couple of Wings. Now 3 Wings all trying to secure this loose ball. We've got a real big pile up now. The ball does come away in Philadelphia's favor.
Corbeil comes up with the ball, but Ryan Wagner, what a great defensive play to get over and take away that chance. It looked very dangerous for the Black Bears.
Ottawa 5, Philadelphia 3. Couple of goals already for Brennan O'Neill. Stops up, contact on Brownell. Play continues on. Higgins to save. The rebound is loose and it's in. Is this one going to count? Yes, for now. And then the other referee comes in and waves it off, and they're going to go upstairs.
Yeah,
Ball trickled in, but there was a lot of activity around the crease.
Well, it's tapped in by Dustin Burkhoff, and he didn't. The ball's in the crease. Of course, you can go in and get it, but he just pokes it in. You have to possess the ball in the mesh of your stick. So this one's going to be waved off, I think, fairly quickly. Oh, wait a second. It goes off of Higgins. We're going to have another look at this, and I think maybe Burkhoff didn't touch it or didn't poke it in which case the goal would count.
Well, we're going to have another look, and the officials are as well.
And it's really about Burkhoff going after this. He dives in, Thornbert on him. It looks like Higgins actually knocks the ball in himself as he comes back to try and get it. And Dustin Burkhoff, they like him playing some offensive shifts. Yeah, Burkhoff, I don't think ever touched that ball. So that is going to be a good goal because that's an own goal. And
stands that way, they will take it. One referee said goal, the other referee waved it off, but pretty clearly there that that ball does go off of Higgins.
We have a good look on the screen of the necklaces that Larson Sundown's father made for the players and the coaching staff when I got to the hotel today. They were all laid out on a table in the lobby. Larson Sundown's dad was wearing his, but this was a fairly quick review, and I think it's going to be pretty obvious.
Upon review, it was determined that the player was in the crease prior to the ball crossing the goal line. Therefore, we have no goal.
So that was the other element at play, is as if Burkhoff was in the crease, and that's exactly the case. So Higgins and the Black Bears catch a break there.
I was so focused on whether he put it in himself, but yeah, Burkhoff is all over the crease, half his body lying in there. That's actually a pretty easy review the other way from what I was thinking. My bad on that one, but they got it right.
Rubel watches on as the game remains. Ottawa 5, Philadelphia 3. In tight, no goal. Foot in the crease will take this one away. Team thought about trying to ask for a challenge upstairs. Quickly out, there's a fine interception there from Callum Jones, looking like a defensive back there. Backtracking and taking that one away. There's going to be a challenge flag coming on from Dan McCray. Right in front of Brienne down on the floor, and I think that Jeff Teat thought he kept his feet out of the crease.
Teat was indicating to the bench right after the shot, hey, you might want to challenge that, but Dan McCray, you see him on the screen, and he was standing right beside Bennett Drake, who is the video coach for the team. Drake's going on the iPad, scrolling through. McCray has his hand on the
Ottawa's challenging the previous call on the floor, no goal. Play is under review.
And then Bennett Drake made the throwing motion, and we knew that the flag was coming at that point. It's interesting because Dan McCray has said when we talked to him, he said the big thing for him is his professional coaching career, he's always been a defensive guy. And now he's got to deal with the offense. And it is a fully defensive group, right? Dylan Evans is coaching on one end, Brian Beasley on the other. Those are all D guys. Now, we're going to see on the replay, and Teat will catch it cleanly in the air. I think it was clean. The look will be, is that toe clear of the crease as he jumps? And I think it's in before he lands, so I think that's okay. Now, the one thing with the replays this year, the officials have all kinds of control over. They can look at them at the replays, and they are synced up, so they can look at the different views and see. It will show the timestamp at exactly the same moment. So if they look at one angle and can't tell, they can tell if it's in the net but not using the crease, they can shift to another angle at that same spot and check it, and you can see they get to adjust the size and really zoom in. And the question is going to be, I think, did Teat step on the crease line? What do you think? I thought there was a bit of green.
Looked like he was able to keep his feet out of the crease, but the question is, one of the questions is, did the ball cross the line before he touched down? But it looked like he was clean there. I think you've got a great point. There is a little bit of green. Sometimes their angles can be deceiving, but that would certainly indicate. Does that ball go in before he touches down? It's a close play, and two referees again having a pretty long look at this.
Brent Cologne bent over a little further. He's got some help from Sean Grenier, and they are taking a close look. Dan McCray says, you've looked enough. That's a goal. And Bennett Drake is watching. They're seeing the same things on their screen, but Bennett Drake was emphatic when he watched the replay a couple of times on the bench, and he was like, yeah, throw that flag.
Oh, it's a intense look here from the referees. Crew chief Brett Cologne.
One interesting factor tonight, Rob Hellier is 12 points away from hitting 900, a really important milestone, and he has scored 12 points in a game 4 times in his career, once in 2014, once in 2016, once in 2018, and then just this past March with San Diego against Las Vegas, he had 12 points on 6 goals, 6 assists. Now, he does not have a point so far tonight. He actually had one up on the Kiernan goal for a bit. It has disappeared. So it was obviously checked. The league does go through all of the games, check all of the goals, make any adjustments they need to later on Monday.
Upon review, it was determined that the player's foot was down prior to the ball completely crossing the goal line. We have no goal.
So
Ottawa
really
loses their first half timeout.
I'm an 0 for. Not my night on replays.
That was certainly close.
Obviously, the in-home PA and the fans don't love that decision, but it is difficult to tell. It can be very deceptive when you're watching the replay, because we're going to see, you don't really, from the angles we have, you don't see the ball until it's well past the goal line, hitting the mesh at the back. What the refs are looking for is when the foot touches down, all the ball has to be is completely over by a millimeter, and it's okay, but obviously it came down a bit early.
So remains 5-3. A couple of goals called back now, one on each side. So Riley O'Connor and Rob Hellier bring the offense back in for Ottawa, trying to make amends from that close call. Teat to the middle, now to Hellier. Trots down, back up to Teat. He plays over, Hellier again. McNabb towards the middle. Bouncer, and that's a stop there from Deacon Knott.
That's a good defensive shift for the Wings, which is something that is going to be very important for them. Dean Rubel did say, he believes because they haven't made many changes this year, that continuity is going to help them.
O'Neill stops up here for the Wings, plays over far side. A quick one-hitter on that shot. That one off the target. 5 on this clock. Volkov, Jones, relentless in his pursuit. Able to keep Philadelphia to the outside.
And Fennell gives Jones a maybe not too friendly tap on the helmet as they head to the bench, but that is Callum Jones in a nutshell. He will get on you, he will not get off. The one thing he's had to learn through his career is control.
Hellier a drive, and Deacon Knott made the save. Ball popped out there and behind the Wings goalkeeper. It's taken back by Pace. Pace trying to spring forward there for Wagner. Wagner drops off in towards the goal. Back to Wagner, trying to squeeze it underneath, and there's a good save from Higgins, who's got it in the goal stick.
Corbeil looks off Joe Rizzetera to go down to Wagner, but it was the right decision. That was the good look.
Take it back, Brownell fires over Teat. Into the corner, quick hitter. That one hit the iron right there. Post play in front from Connor Kiernan.
Great job by Jake McNabb just to get in the way of Isaiah Davis-Allen, which let Jones collect that for loose ball.
The hack in the middle, and Kiernan went down, goes right back into the middle again, goes to a lot of those tough areas on the floor. This is a shot, and Knott makes the save, and he traps the rebound. That one off of Teat.
See how quickly Knott comes up looking to pass the ball. He is a great passer, and that could lead to some opportunities.
Brienne mentioning down on the floor that Saunders was shaken up. Keep an eye on that as well, yeah. Magnan here for the Black Bears. 9:40 to go here, second quarter. Remains a tight game. Hellier, back pass. Kiernan back in, and a good save there. Not down. Came in midway through this first quarter and has been sharp through. 9:33 to go, second quarter. A timeout on the floor. 5-3 Ottawa, midway through the second frame.
Welcome back inside Canadian Tire Centre, where we are seeing a close matchup, 5-3 in favor of Ottawa, but it's even closer for one specific Philadelphia wing. Yes, Eric Fennell in familiar territory, and he's been having himself a game. Pretty much all of those Philadelphia goals he's been a part of, and you can see him roughing up people as he runs through this Ottawa team he knows so well, even giving Callum Jones an extra little love tap as they headed off the floor from that last scruffle. So a nice physical game here in Ottawa. Matt?
Yeah, he's been terrific so far. A goal and an assist here, Stephen.
And I'm curious, Brianne, you were right there, so you saw it from up here. It didn't look too friendly, the tap to Callum Jones. Was it a little nasty down there?
I mean, it almost took his head off.
Yeah.
No love lost on the floor. O'Neill back to work here for the Wings. Ball into the middle. That's a nice play from Jones to intercept. Shots 18-12 favoring the Black Bears. Brunel trying to pass in, looking at Sam Firth. That's in and out of his stick. Ball on the turf, and good pursuit there from Hellier. Plays over, a little give and go. Back over, scores! What a finish! That is underneath Firth and Hellier cashing in.
Hellier, no question, is going to get on the score sheet on this one. A lovely passing play. You like to get the goalie moving east-west. This is east-west, east-west. It's just back and forth between Hellier and Firth, and Sam Firth feeling very comfortable. As you can see, that's a lovely little bouncer. And I mean, I don't know if they could have made many more passes because they're just running out of turf towards as they gradually crept towards the crease, but lovely move back and forth. Third goal of the year, you see, second of this game. And Sam Firth, whose younger brother Willem is going to be a force in this league coming up in the draft in a couple of years. He'll probably be the first overall pick in 27.
Runs in the family. Firth has got 2 tonight, and Hellier on the board with his first point. It's Ottawa by 3 again. Ottawa's biggest lead of the game was 4 back at 6:09 of the first quarter. So the Wings trying to answer right back. There's a shot that goes off of Higgins and into the corner after hopping off those backboards.
And I think Dan McRae's going to be pretty happy with the response from his Black Bears after O'Neill scored those 2 goals just a couple minutes apart. Again, something they've been working on is not giving up big runs, responding instead of letting teams get rolling, and they've done a good job here today.
Kieran plays down, McNabb goes into the middle. Now McNabb, picks it up and will try and circle around, taken back by Knott, and played over to Mitchell Armstrong. 21-year-old in his 3rd NLL season, plays over. There's a shot in transition, rebound chance, and Higgins 2 saves. Caputo on the 2nd attempt. 2 big ones for Higgins.
Excellent effort from Phil Caputo, who was, again, part of that trade that sent Higgins over to the Black Bears. He went along with Liam Patton and a first-round pick in that 2027 draft to Philadelphia.
Into the middle, Kieran a drive, a save from Knott. Kieran wrestled down. It's quickly picked back up there again by Hellier. The rest of the offense on the floor with a fresh clock.
And a big part of the reason Philly felt they could deal Zach Higgins for those assets was they have Nick Damude and they have Deacon Knott. They love this duo of goaltenders.
Kieran's pass intercepted in the middle. That's taken back by Kevin Lynch. Now move forward here from Lynch, who will just one-hand this off as he heads off. 7 minutes to go. This is O'Neill again. Already in twice on the Philadelphia goal scoring. Looks for his 3rd, and that's a fine save again from Higgins, who's starting to dial in here in the 2nd. And now a long outlet pass to Jay Thornbert. Made a season debut in Las Vegas, the face-off specialist.
Another thing Dan McRae said was, oh, go ahead.
Here's Teat. Pushed back by Armstrong. Teat into the middle, in behind the goal, and there's that dunk from Sundown. He just missed.
Went the other way, but one of the things Dan McRae was saying, they love the transition game. They want to run. They want to get goals in transition. They're important, but they want to let the 5-on-5 offense work, so be judicious. That was a good example of Thornbert on the outlet there, pulling it out, letting the O go to work.
Back to Fennell. Couple of points tonight here for Philadelphia. Fennell has to try and take this one off of the hop. Ball is loose. Heavy check there as Jones put the shoulder down. Met there with Dalton Young.
Really nice defensive shift from Jake Stevens. Getting all over the Philadelphia forwards.
Stevens heads off. The offense back on. There's a shot. Knott makes the save.
Boy, that may have looked easy because it just went into Deacon Knott's chest, into his belly pad, but that is a quick release on a diagonal pass that Jeff Teat got off so well, and Knott had to be really sharp to get that one.
Budo plays this one down. Philadelphia back to work. Reardon plays to O'Neill. O'Neill wants to try from distance, fakes, now comes in, tries to go over the top, and he scores. Give him 3 on the game, and Philadelphia back within 2.
And that's one that Dan McRae will not be as happy with, nor will Brian Beazle, as they just lose contain here, and you just can't let Brendan O'Neill. He's so big and strong. You could see him doing this from his high school days in field lacrosse, where once he gets headed towards the net, he is hard to stop, and you can see Borgatti going over with his man Brownell just left that lane open, and O'Neill, for a big guy, look how quick this first step is. And then, of course, a beautiful bouncer. We've seen him forever scoring like that. He's got such great control of his stick when he's heading in, gets up into the air and just bounces it. And he's a big kid. That's a really high to really low when he takes the bounces.
Didn't have a multi-goal game coming into tonight, but O'Neill's got 3. One off his career high, set back in December of 2024. And his 3 goals have helped Philadelphia stay close. Hellier plays back to Sundown towards the captain, Teat. He spins away. Teat back to Rob Hellier. Just the 1 assist for Hellier, and he scores. Think he might have hurt us. Hellier, his first of the night, and it's 7-4.
Hellier has been scoring. He's got 8 goals and 14 assists coming into the season. Give him 9 and 15. And this is just really nice ball movement by the Black Bears off some pretty good 2-man defense by Pace and Isaiah Davis-Allen over on the far side. But what you can see is that Teat will say, hey, it's not happening over here. Rob Hellier's open, and then the big pick by Jake McNabb. The guy's really nice to see him getting a shot in the NLL, and it's a really good job by Hellier of cutting off of this nice and tight and letting that ball rip, and Hellier's such a dangerous outside shooter.
Hellier from Teat and Sundown with a little help as well from McNabb. Magden's able to secure this loose ball. Magden chased it behind the goal, bodied up a couple of wings, try and take the ball away from Magden. With a bounce pass back to Brownell.
Great effort from Magden. I think he's looking as good as he's ever looked. The Winnipeg native playing a very solid season.
Foley tries to close it on Teat. There's the double team, leaves Riley O'Connor wide open in front. Second chance from Kiernan. 2 saves there from Knott.
What a pass from Jeff Teat. I know O'Connor didn't finish. He's right on top. He's on his offside. But that is a brilliant look from Jeff Teat.
Pursuit there from Nicholas Volkov. And once again, Ottawa, late stages here, first half. Back into Hellier. Looking for that next option now. Firth played over to Teat. Teat got up with the shovel path in tight, looking at Sam Firth, who's already got a couple here. Just out of his reach, and Philadelphia back in possession.
That was another nice pass and a really good defensive closing play there to make that stop.
3:17 to go, second quarter. 2 teams trading goals. It's Ottawa by 3.
The National Lacrosse League makes its return to Edmonton on January 16th as the Georgia Swarm match up against the Calgary Roughnecks in the second ever NLL Unbox Series game. We want you to help bring the energy and excitement to Edmonton for a night to remember. Lyle Thompson and the Swarm, Tanner Cook and the Roughnecks. It's the 2026 NLL Unbox Series game, Friday, January 16th. Get tickets today.
This is the moment you waited all week for. It's Friday night. Whether you're at home or out on the town, it all starts here.
No, he didn't!
The weekend starts here.
Oh, what a move!
With NLL Friday night on TSN.
Welcome back inside Canadian Tire Center, where we have a game this Christmas Saturday. It is currently 7-4, and yes, Rob Hellier has done a lot to contribute to this team, and we've really seen that offense start to go. Going into this game, he was leading the league with 14 assists and 22 points, and yeah, he got himself another goal and an assist tonight, and we know that this team has been really excited to have him playing with them, with head coach Dan McRae saying it has been a treat to have him getting going this season. Matt?
And how about the production from the 33-year-old, looking as nimble as ever this year, Stephen?
And Hellier first in the league, Teat third in the league, but they've played 3 games, right? So maybe it's not as impressive. Well, Hellier is 4th in the league in points per game. Teat is 9th, so they're both top 10 per game as well. They are doing very well.
Opportunity here for the Wings. The shot comes from Reardon from the outside. Save Higgins, rebound quickly picked back up. Transition opportunity here for the Black Bears. It's Teat. There's a good block there as that one denied by the Wings and picked up by Reardon.
Blaze Reardon channeling his field lacrosse goaltending as he got his stick up over his shoulder and in that passing lane to knock that one down.
He'll head off. Fennell and the rest of the offensive unit come on. Fennell and O'Neill. Ottawa protecting a 7-4 lead here in this first half. Fake underneath, Higgins down, makes the save, looking to try and create some more transition.
And Callum Jones making more friends with a heavy hit as Caputo went to the floor, landing on top of him. Callum Jones will definitely get under the skin of opponents if he hasn't already.
Hellier's bounce pass over to O'Connor. Coming out of the corner back to Kiernan. Tried to go into the middle for Teat. He was well guarded. Less than 2 minutes to go first half. Ottawa looking to even its record at 2-2. So a long way to go for that to happen as Philadelphia's kept it close. Wagner will play this over, and once again Philadelphia back on offense. Fennell. Towards the middle, his pass, looking for Reza Terrence. They're watching closely. Joe Reza Terrence back into the middle, backhand feed, and that one denied and tight. Higgins again equal to another save. Great work again from Magnan, able to shake off that attempt there from Young.
Shake off is the operative term there. He was trying to get his head loose from the hard back checking from Young.
Last minute to go, second quarter. Ottawa's led from the start of the game up till now. Hellier, his shot partially blocked. 2 seconds to go. Hellier's got to hurry. Centering pass and looking in front for McCabe. He's pushed down. Philadelphia ball, 47 seconds to go.
See if they go for a 2-for-1 here. Looks like they're looking to the bench for indication.
Quick shot. Save Higgins trying to get that 2-for-1. Magnan the rebound. Gotti will slowly trot this up and over half.
Gotti kind of one of the forgotten, unsung heroes for this team. He's been with them since the start. One of 7 Black Bears who's been with the franchise right from the start back to the Riptide days.
Hellier takes a look around without charge towards the goal. Has a lane, and he's just poke checked in the last second. More fine defense there. Now a timeout call. There'll be time for one more play here from the Wings.
So big for Philadelphia to try and get something here. They have battled back frequently here in this game, responding to goals that Ottawa has scored, and it will be important. They've given up 7 goals, and again, defense has been an issue for them. They gave up the 2nd most goals in the league last year. They actually gave up a full goal per game or more than every team in the league last year, other than Las Vegas and Georgia.
Coming up next on the game halftime, we'll have first half analysis. We'll also take a good look around the NLL. It's a busy Saturday night, and that includes highlights from the Rock playing the Las Vegas Desert Dogs happening right now, and also the Rush out in the Maritimes taking on the Halifax Thunderbirds. So stay with us as the game halftime is coming your way shortly. But first, it's going to be one last chance here for Philadelphia to try and narrow this gap again. What do you expect here, Stephen?
Well, obviously they're coming out with 6 attackers, and I mean, O'Neill has been the hot hand. He's looking very dynamic. I would think they'd be trying to set something up for him, whether it's to be a decoy, where they come over to him and have Joe Resetarits cutting open on the other side might be an option, because, you know, Ottawa's seen what we've seen in this game so far.
Gonna have to be quick about it as well. They put 6.8.
7 seconds, thank you.
Okay, there's the adjustment there as well. So 8.7 is the number.
And they're gonna have to start all the way back by their own restraining line.
O'Neill picks the ball up, charges forward, looks to go down. Now the shot comes outside, hits something in front coming from Dalton Young, and that's going to do it for half number one. A little bit of pushing and shoving here as some of the tension starts to flare between these two Eastern rivals. But Ottawa wanted to have a good first half here, Stephen, and so far for Dan McRae and the Black Bears, it's job done halfway through this game.
Halfway through, 7 goals for, very good. The 4 goals against, very good as well. The response, every time Philadelphia started getting something going, the Black Bears responded, and I think that's what the coaching staff will be happy about.
Still some more bad blood down on the turf in Ottawa. Only halfway through as Caputo shakes off a couple of knocks. It's Teat and the Black Bears getting a couple of big contributions, and it's Ottawa by 3 at recess. Halftime in the nation's capital at the Canadian Tire Centre. The Black Bears holding a 3-goal advantage. It's 7-4 over the Philadelphia Wings. This game very much up in the balance as we move from half one into half two. Great to have you along for the ride. Again, alongside Steven Stamp, my name is Matt Cullen, and let's take a look at some of the offense here so far, beginning with Connor Kieran here in the Black Bears.
And Connor Kiernan, we talked about earlier, he's had a slow start to the season, just 4 points, all of them goals into their 3 games so far. He has a goal and his first 2 assists of the season. And you can see this lovely pass across the floor to Firth for the first goal. And Kiernan's going to make another nice pass, finding Teat on the run. So they're very happy to have him getting some assists. And then this beautiful behind the back spinning, and Connor Kiernan, they love to see him getting going. He loves to celebrate, he loves to score, very enthusiastic player, but it's big for them to not have it just the Teat and Hellier show. Not that he hasn't been a part of it, right? They were quick to credit the work he's done off ball, but they want him putting the ball in the net too.
Philadelphia has done well to keep pace in this game. Brendan O'Neill has his first hat trick of the season.
He does, had 2 goals coming in to this game, and he is looking very strong, very confident in this game. And again, it's a full team effort. He's getting a lot of help from Eric Fennell. Makes that pass. That's a lovely twister. Love that angle from right on top. And the other one, just a rip. Again, a big pick from Fennell. So Eric Fennell has been doing a lot of the work to help O'Neill out on his goals. Every one of O'Neill's goals, Fennell has been an integral part.
Now, all of the offensive weapons that Ottawa has, they say the backbone of this team is the defense and goaltending, and Higgins has been sharp.
He has been very sharp, and again, he doesn't mind getting tested. He has been good when they've had to test him. Maybe his best save of the night was running in off the bench to stop the Deacon Knott shot, but you're going to see, again, right on top of the crease, he is facing some very high-level, high-quality chances. Gets a little help from the goalpost, but if it's hitting the goalpost, it means you didn't give him much space to shoot at, right?
Higgins sharp with 14 saves in that first half, and here's a look at how things played out. Shots favor Ottawa, loose balls do as well. We saw 4 power plays in that first quarter, all of them cashed in. And again, O'Neill remains a dangerous threat for the Wings, who have kept it close in between usually the 2 to 3 goal mark. Coming up next on our halftime report, presented by The Game, we'll take a look around the NLL on a busy Saturday night. Stay with us. the Black Bears, hoping for their second win of the season. They're halfway there. 7-4 lead over the Philadelphia Wings. We mentioned 3 games on the go and a 4th on the way later on across the NLL. So let's head out to the Nest Scotiabank Center in Halifax, a rematch of last year's semifinal between the Rush and Thunderbirds here, Stephen.
Look at the wheels on Matt Accioni, and he is taking off. Nobody catching him. He will bury this one. That's one of 2 he has in this game for Accioni. This game has been close throughout, back and forth. You're going to see the vet, Cody Jamieson, will take this pass and rip it home. Sidearm, slipping it past Frank Chiliano. That one put the Thunderbirds ahead there, or tied it up for the Thunderbirds. You got the quick change. And then Josh Sawada from downtown, a hard blast. And we're seeing some outside goals. Not much was going past Warren Hill early in the season. Saskatchewan has got some. But Mike Robinson, speaking of downtown, he loves to shoot from distance. He will put the Birds back ahead. And this game just back and forth, back and forth. It's 10-9 last we looked for Saskatchewan over Halifax. At the other game going on right now down in Hamilton, you see Josh Jubenville gets involved on the offensive zone, taking this pass from Latrell Harris and buries a beauty, but a lot going Las Vegas's way, and a lot of it coming from the guys that they brought in. Here's one inside and just tucking that one home. Beautiful pass inside. Chase Fraser, one of the new additions, getting that one. You see Mitch Jones, the other of the big trio that came in, makes that initial pass. They're going to come over to the 3rd member of the new trio. Here's Chris Cloutier, and he is going to make some moves, flick it across, and Jones all alone on top of the crease. And that is the new trio, just bringing a lot for them. Toronto's going to have a response, though. That is the rookie #1 overall pick, CJ Kirst. What a play to get that one with not much angle and tuck that one home. Vegas keeps things rolling, though. There's Fraser looking to pass this ball off, and that is Cloutier. They play together in the summer as well. They play together a lot. They enjoy each other, and they are very comfortable. It is working out well as Vegas is up 6-4 on the Rock at halftime.
Matt Sawyer looking puzzled there as the 1-1 Toronto Rock have their hands full at home. And we mentioned late stages, 4th quarter, the Rush looking to try and spoil Halifax's early perfect season so far. And later on tonight, you can catch it on ESPNU. South of the border, the Georgia Swarm take on the Colorado Mammoth. And tomorrow, yes, Sunday action, ESPN2, the 3-time reigning champion, the Buffalo Bandits, will take on the 0-2 Calgary Roughnecks. But the Roughnecks holding a 7-5 all-time advantage over the Bandits at home. And in our game, Black Bears up by 3. We'll have the second half for you when we return to the Canadian Tire Center. Time now for the game interview. It's down on the floor. Brienne standing by with Sam first.
Open the scoring today and have another one. How fun is it to play on a line with Rob Hellier and Jeff Teat?
Yeah, they make it pretty easy out there. Two of the best players in the world, so just got to do my job and get open, and the rest will come.
Playing here in Ottawa, in your hometown, what is it like to be able to, see this crowd every single night at home and just have that support behind you?
It's a lot of fun. I used to come to Sens games here growing up as a kid, so it's a really cool experience to be able to play here. The lacrosse in the area is growing a lot recently, so it's great to play here, see all the kids I coach and stuff. A lot of fun.
And then last one for me, how is it having the Tendy Bear back there?
He's great. He's a brick wall. He's doing his job tonight. We're lucky to have him.
Awesome. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Tendy Bear. Thank you, Brienne, and thank you, Sam. So far, Zach Higgins has held the fort, and Ottawa ahead by 3. But the question is here, Stephen, can they try and see this game out? They've been more of the comeback team this year and haven't played with the lead as much. So that will be the big question here for the Black Bears. Of course, the Wings trying to get back in this, looking for win number 2 on the season. This one taken away by Magnan. 3 Black Bears, maybe a 4th. Race away in transition. Magnan feeds back inside, a return feed to Kurt. Inside, chance, scores, Jones.
Beautiful play by the Black Bears. I was actually thinking they may have made one too many passes as the last pass gets away, but Jones is there. Again, we see the ball bouncing out from behind the net. And this time, Jones goes up in the air. Look at Callum Jones paying attention, staying right on top of the crease, just out of the crease. I'd imagine Philly is taking a look at they're going to challenge. Ian Rubel has reached for the flag and tossed it out. And I think they're saying, it may have been at the beginning because while he was dancing around the edge of the crease, he was very close. Could have been a first player to play the ball after he was in the crease. We'll see.
So Philadelphia wants to have a look. Jones thinks he scored his first goal of the season.
Philadelphia is challenging the call of a goal on the floor. Plays under review.
So the third challenge of the day here.
And one thing I wanted to mention, Ian Rubel talked about their defense. They feel like they're going to be better because they have continuity. They did lose Mitch to Snoo. Again, they gave up a lot of goals last year, and they're going to need guys to step up. I think guys like Alex Pace, who having a pretty good night in that we haven't seen him do anything wrong, and that's not bad for a defender, right? I had him as my a critical player for this team on my IL Indoor site in a story. And for Ottawa, I think it's fairly obvious it's Rob Hellier. You can see Ian Rubel. He is thinking, we don't want to give up this goal. And here we're going to take a look, and we have to watch Jones before he gets the ball, right there. Yeah, I think he steps on the crease before he goes up, which would make it irrelevant whether the ball's in before he comes down and if he's out of the crease. Which he may have come down. There's 2 points of contention there. It's the left foot as he goes to jump. Did it touch the crease first, which would then make him first to touch after being in the crease. Then the right foot definitely comes down on the goal, on the crease line. But where, again, did the ball go in? We saw another close play with Teat earlier. That one did not count. Jones thinks this one counts, but is he trying to convince himself? Maybe.
Referees will continue to stew over this. It's a big decision. I want to remind you, next NLL Friday night on TSN, it's a doubleheader. It's on January the 9th. Halifax and Ottawa will tangle, so will Vancouver and Calgary. Here's the decision.
Upon review, it's determined that the player's foot was in the crease prior to the ball completely crossing the goal line. We have no goal.
So that's the third time that there's been a review and the third time that a goal has been called back.
I think it's right. I think it's the right call. They've nailed these. And I would like to point out how quick these reviews have been. That was a point of contention early in the year, a new system. It was taking a while, but they are getting better and better as we go. Hopefully they'll keep being quick on the reviews.
Back to a 3-goal game then. It is Ottawa now protecting with Jones. Takes a whack at O'Neill. Magnan comes over, shot from Caputo. That's a save from Higgins. Watches it off into the corner.
Is it just me, or did Callum Jones look angry? that goal did
That
not
looked
count.
like a pretty vicious defensive stance there. I'll ask Brienne to take the temperature of the anger level down on the Ottawa bench there. That's what Dan McRae wanted. Said he wanted the team to play angry. Light a fire, being down in some big games, big deficits early in the year. So that was part of the team coming back, playing angry. This is the chance inside, and Knott's got another save.
And Deacon Knott has stayed in, as we mentioned. Damude on the bench, still the helmet off. He does not look like he's coming back.
Ball in the middle, there's some equipment on the floor. Ottawa trying to run in transition. Volkov hands this off in towards the goal. Shot in transition coming from Magnan. There's another save there. It's going to be an Ottawa power play at the end of this.
It's going to be an illegal substitution on the wings as Deacon Knott makes that save, and he may have to make some more for them as we get the penalty called.
2 minutes illegal substitution.
And that only benefits, obviously, the Black Bears as they try to come out. They talked about wanting quicker starts in the first half. They definitely got it here tonight. Now, the challenge is, like you said, they've barely played from ahead all season. So playing with that lead, making sure they keep the foot on the pedal is going to be important.
And every power play so far today has cashed in. Both teams 2 for 2. So Ottawa will try and continue that. Burkhoff will serve as the in-house, 2 or less for the bench minor. There's a shot, scores, and very quickly the power play cashes in. It's Rob Hellier.
I love it when teams go early in the power play. It's something that gives you, for one thing, if this doesn't work out, it gives you 3 opportunities to have a possession if things go back and forth, but just quick, and this worked out perfectly. This is Teat and Hellier, and you can see what a good job they do, and the respect that opponents have to pay to Rob Hellier, but also the respect to Jeff Teat. That's opening up space for both of them. You can see the defender racing out towards Jeff Teat, and not much chance for Deacon Knott on that one.
The NLL goal leader, Rob Hellier, cracks 10 now on the season. Teat's got his 3rd assist and 4th point of the night. So Ottawa's new danger duo back in action again, and Ottawa's power play, a perfect 3 for 3 so far. And now that 4-goal lead is restored, that matches a game high. Ottawa back in possession, shot, that one off the bottom of the bar, it stayed out. Teat's able to run under this ball. It's played back, Hellier.
Bennett Drake did take a quick peek on the video to see if that crossbar shot may have gone in. It did not, as that one didn't either.
In tight for Hellier. There's a save there from Deacon Knott, who stands his ground. Patton will back up and wait for the rest of the offense onto the floor. Philadelphia only 4 goals in that first half. They have been efficient on the power play. There's Fennell. He's been in on the goal scoring tonight. Stevens pressures him to the outside. There comes some more help. Rezzateris goes down low, and a spin move from Caputo ends with him on the turf. And Ottawa going the other way, trying to develop something in transition. Magnan's had a lot of legs tonight in transition. Pass into the middle, shot towards the goal, off to the bar again. That one in tight. Back-to-back possessions that end with a crossbar.
Black Bears get rewarded with the transition opportunity after a great defensive shift. 4 of the 5 players directly involved. The 5th defender just keeping his man out. It was really great team defense.
There's a fake coming towards the goal. Higgins makes the save.
And that was not great team defense. And that's where you're glad to have Zach Higgins back there and ready to stop it when someone like Brendan O'Neill races in looking for his 4th of the game.
That would tie a career high, but Higgins had none of that. 4 minutes gone, 3rd quarter. Ottawa's added to its lead here. Teat goes inside, bouncer, yes! In tight, Riley O'Connor.
O'Connor in close, right on top of Deacon Knott. And I thought for a moment after the goal he was going to take off and give a tongue lashing to the wing who had hit him pretty late, but instead he just goes and celebrates with his teammates. A great year for Riley O'Connor coming in, and watch the Teat spin move, and again the pressure coming, the slide, and it was a late slash coming from Dustin Burkhoff, and Teat was absolutely sandwiched. Burkhoff is annoying everyone on the Black Bears team on that one, as he is wont to do. He is a rough and tumble player.
O'Connor's got a pair tonight, came in 7th in NLL points tonight, and now has 151 career NLL goals, and most importantly, Ottawa's got its first 5-goal lead here in the game. Dalton Young from the outside looking for his first of the season. Pat pushes Volkov up against the boards. Jones is there as well. 3 Black Bears trying to secure the loose ball and finally take it back in behind the goal.
Nice shift from Nicholas Volkov. Some really good play. He gets in, he's heading down the tunnel. Again, he's a little shaken up, but he worked really hard, then went and fought, battled on ball, and then battled to give his teammates a chance to pick up the loose ball.
Here's Teat once more, shot right on, not the save. Rebound quickly picked up by the Ottawa captain. 9-4 Black Bears. Teat now calling for some movement down low. Plays to Larson Sundown, who just picked up an assist on that Riley O'Connor goal. Played over far side, inside to Teat, trying to outweight the young goalkeeper, and Knott did well to stand his ground again.
Very patient, Deacon Knott. And I just want to add to the Nicholas Volkov play at the other end. He's a kid, all kinds of talent, very physical monster. Some guys take a little longer to get their footing in the NLL. I think it's fair to say it took him a bit. They love seeing smart, headsy plays like that, like he just made.
Leclerc to Caputo. Shot from the outside, scores. There's O'Neill's 4th. Wires it past Higgins, and it's 9-5.
Just keep feeding the big man. He is feeling it tonight. You can see Brendan O'Neill was ready to shoot when that one came out to him. Inside, outside, it doesn't really matter. He can be dangerous from everywhere. And in this case, we've talked about the Ottawa defense playing good, solid team defense, but in this case, they just gave Brendan O'Neill too much room. He's out there getting the ball, takes a couple of steps into it. You're gonna see that they just are not closing on him in time. And there's really no reason for it. You've got to be out there. You can't back away from a Brendan O'Neill and let him shoot that.
Ties a career high 4 goals that he set last December in the game against the Las Vegas Desert Dogs. And O'Neill's accounted for 4 of the 5 Philadelphia goals here tonight. Dornbird on the draw. It's been pretty well split down the middle in terms of draws. Philadelphia now at 9, Ottawa at 7.
O'Neill also had the primary assist on the Fennell goal, so he has been directly contributing.
In on all 5 and has scored 4 himself. So the Wings gain possession. O'Neill again works on Jones. Jones tries to keep him to the outside. Pass inside. Higgins makes the save and he traps the rebound.
Great look though, Blaze Reardon in the slot. O'Neill finds that pass to him and it just gets away from Blaze Reardon, who comes in and says, great pass. Sorry, man. That's on me missing that one.
There's Riley O'Connor. Dances on the outside. Plays back to Firth. He's got a couple of goals here for the Black Bears tonight. Played over, a long low shot from Hellier, and that one off the target. Teat's got to backtrack here. Make sure this ball gets over. And 8:07 in this 3rd quarter, a timeout on the floor. A couple of Black Bear goals, but then O'Neill rifling in his 4th of the game. It is Ottawa up.
returns to Edmonton as Lyle Thompson and the Swarm host the Roughnecks for the league's second annual NLL Unboxed Series event. Head to Ticketmaster.ca to get your tickets now. Welcome back inside Ottawa, and yes, it was a tale of two defenses for the first half. Ian Rumel telling us that he was not happy with his play from the defense, saying they lacked consistency and the physicality. He said they were physical on offense, but they needed that on the defensive end. On the other side, Brian Beasel told me that, well, he's very happy with the consistency as well as the physicality of the Ottawa team. Matt?
Certainly a big effort defensively for Ottawa. That's been their calling card since they moved into the nation's capital. Got some offensive weapons to go along with it now, and it's 9-5. So get the feeling here, though, Stephen, that this game is a long way from over, and there's a shot and a goal. Great move in tight. Pretty finish there from Dalton Young for his first of the season.
Yeah, Young coming in with half a dozen assists, but not scoring. He is going to be pretty happy to get that monkey off his back, and he does this one all on his own, and that's a big response for Philadelphia because, as we've seen, they're having some trouble shutting things down. Defensively, they're going to have to keep scoring. That is a great swim move to get around Borgatti, who would love to have that one back, but that is just some terrific movement. Look at the dipsy doodling. What footwork from Young, then staying out of the crease and that little lever shot as he dives across the top of the crease. That is a beauty.
Just his third career NLL goal. Played 3 games last year, collected 9 points, so immediate impact for the Wings, and as he mentioned, had a 4-assist performance in the opener, picked up a couple more in the second game in Rochester. Now he's got his first of the season, and 2 quick Philadelphia goals, makes it a 3-goal game again. It's Philadelphia hanging around with a lot of lacrosse still to come here in Ottawa. Into the middle, Teat winds, fires, not the save. He's able to charge out and pick up that loose ball.
And Dalton Young is from Chantilly, Virginia, one of 8 Americans on the roster, one of 6 states represented on this club.
Philadelphia unable to get the ball over half. It's turned over. So 20 seconds on the clock. Ottawa back looking for more. Here's Teat, winds, fires, glances off the goaltender, not, and back over half. It's going to be a reset as it did take a deflection. So Sundown into the ball, into the middle. Big check there, ball on the ground. Firth didn't see him coming, and he's slow to get up.
I really like the job by Rob Hellier being aware that there was the deflection. It was going to be a reset, and he didn't have to. It was better if he didn't pick that ball up before he got to center and put himself in danger of an over and back.
Here's Rezateras, has 3 assists tonight here for the Wings. Caputo also on the floor here as well. Into the middle again. O'Neill scores. Give him a career high 5 goals on the night. And Philadelphia back within 2.
If there are any Philadelphia fans in the building, get your socks ready, because one more and you'll be tossing them for Brennan O'Neill, and Ottawa has got to watch him. He is absolutely feeling it tonight. He is doing everything for the Wings, has 5 of their 7 goals, has assists on the others, and look at, he is just going to do this himself. Jones passes him off, and Magnan, I take it back a little bit because Magnan's going to try and get him. He's trying not to give him too much space, but if you run too hard at him, you don't keep your breakdown, don't keep your foot spacing proper, he's going to go around you. So it's a bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't with the big, strong shooting and athletic Brennan O'Neill.
3 straight Philadelphia goals. O'Neill started it. Young followed up his first of the season, then O'Neill again. It's a 6-point game for Brennan O'Neill. Big scramble off of this draw. Thornberry tries to push it forward and taken back by Roulette.
This is where, I mean, Ottawa has given up long stretches of goals to Las Vegas, to Saskatchewan, to San Diego. Every game they've given up long streaks. They need to stop it, and this is going to be, feels like a season-defining moment. Can they turn this around and change that narrative?
Ottawa by 2. Spinning on the outside. Young again tries to go down low. Rezateras in and out of his stick. He's out of time. So the Ottawa defense gets a stop.
and it's only the 4th game of the year, so I know it's early in the season, but we talked about with the unified standings, most of these games wind up serving as tiebreakers at the end of the season, and these are two teams both looking to get to the playoffs for the first time in years.
Kiernan wrestled down, loses the ball, taken back quickly by Lynch. Up and over half again. Flipped off and almost juggled, barely saved from the over and back. Rezatierrez. 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. We've got a game on our hands in Ottawa. Black Bears 9, Wings 7. O'Neill is tormented Ottawa all night long. There's a shot from the outside. Second opportunity there for Burkhoff, and you know he'd love to score against his former team.
They're just going to let this time tick away on the 30. But what I really liked on that possession defensively was the communication. You could see on both sides of the ball the way the players were able to communicate and get the shift switches, onto the other players who are going to be dangerous.
Philadelphia has come alive in the 3rd quarter. Caputo's shaken up. It's a 2-goal game.
The National Lacrosse League makes its return to Edmonton on January 16th as the Georgia Swarm match up against the Calgary Roughnecks in the 2nd ever NLL Unbox Series game. We want you to help bring the energy and excitement to Edmonton for a night to remember. Lyle Thompson and the Swarm, Tanner Cook and the Roughnecks. It's the 2026 NLL Unbox Series game, Friday, January 16th. Get tickets today.
This is the moment you waited all week for. It's Friday night. Whether you're at home or out on the town, it all starts here.
No, he didn't!
The weekend starts here.
Oh, what a move!
With NLL Friday night on TSN.
Welcome back inside Canadian Tire Center. And yes, this is a familiar matchup for Dustin Burkhoff. Now he is making sure that Ottawa knows that he is here and he is pestering them over and over and over again. We did see him already go into the sin bin tonight. And just before we went over for break, he did give a nice little love tap to the Ottawa bench. They were not so impressed with that, but his physicality tonight is something that head coach Ian Rubel said he has been so impressed with. Matt?
He is one tough customer, and chip on the shoulder tonight, that's to be sure. There's a long drive and a save there from Deacon Knott. Ball into the corner and collected by the Wings, Corbeil.
And that chip is permanently on the shoulder of Dustin Burkhoff and his brother Brody. They love to get out and get physical, but the one thing, Dustin Burkhoff has played some offensive shifts, had 2 goals last week for Philadelphia, and Ian Rubel said, yeah, we like him playing up front. He was a great scorer when he was coming up through minor and junior. He's become known more for his toughness in defense, but he can play up front as well.
First career NLL goals, those 2 goals the other week. There's a shot from distance from O'Neill, who's looking to make it 6. You mentioned the sock trick there, so for right now the socks stay on.
Thank goodness. Callum Jones with another tough defensive shift on that loose ball. It's really the best Ottawa looks defensively is when they're doing it as
Ottawa still in front by a pair of goals, but the lead has been trimmed over this quarter. There's another shot, and that's the 3rd post or crossbar of the quarter.
What a great look. Finding Kiernan cutting through the middle.
Sundown surveys his options, fires over to Rob Hellier. Hellier quickly back there, T to one hopper, stopped again by Knott. Transition opportunity, play to head to Burkhoff, and Burkhoff is free, and he scores, and he barrels into the net. It's a 1-goal game.
I told you this kid can score. He is very comfortable with the ball in his stick. He runs very well, and you can see how well he works here, getting a look as he comes in on Higgins. And what you're going to watch for is how calm he is and how he kind of shoots off of his off foot as well. I love that he's looked like he's setting up for a big shot, that as he's landing on the right foot, he shoots it. That will throw a goalie off if a right-handed shot shoots it off his right foot. And that's a really nice job. Instead of stepping down onto the left foot and loading up, he sees a spot he likes that doesn't have to be too much power and just places it right home. And he's pretty happy about it.
Look at that big smile.
Yeah, his family back in Peterborough are going to be pretty fired up as well.
So you mentioned the goal runs, and Philadelphia has now got 4 in a row. Ottawa had, leads are never comfortable in lacrosse, so that's not the right word, but largest lead of the night was 5, and now it's been trimmed to 1. Fennell, right to Terrence, a save from Higgins, rebound off into the corner, 2:40 to go. Philadelphia's outscored Ottawa 4-2 in this quarter.
Nice job getting that loose ball, good work by Kurt Stevens and Volkov. And when you start to have a season where you're giving up runs like this and it starts to happen, it's easy to think, here we go again. They have to get away from that and just focus shift by shift.
Hellier, Riley O'Connor, Ottawa trying to get one back here. 5 left on the shot clock. First, triple team, knocked down, and that's the end of that shot clock. Philadelphia with the momentum. Tie game. Reardon was at the edge of the crease, and it's 9-9.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see a challenge because the replay has already been looked at. Bennett Drake is just looking up saying, no challenge here. Great work by Dalton Young. That's a lovely pass. I thought he actually got away, as we watched early in the play, a bit of a ward off, kind of grabbing Volkov's arm with his left hand. Obviously not enough to draw a call from the officials, and I don't think Ottawa will like that one, but if you get away with it, that's a great play, and whatever you're looking at, that's a beautiful pass from Dalton Young to Blaze Reardon right on top of the crease.
Goes for a second of the season, and it's now a 5-goal run for the Wings. And for the first time since the beginning of the game, we're back on even terms. Ottawa's 5-goal lead is now slipped away. 40 seconds left in this third quarter. It's been a troublesome one here for the Black Bears.
Hellier did rip that one to get the 2-for-1 chance, so Philly can't get into the final seconds and look for a last shot of the quarter.
But they can't look for the lead here, and that's what Rezateras has in mind. Forced to back up. Laid down, taken by Caputo. He goes down, spinning and Leclerc. There's a save from Higgins, 11 seconds. That's what's left in this quarter. Higgins will head to the bench. Ottawa trying to retake the lead before the fourth. 5 seconds, now 4. Gotta hurry. O'Connor into the middle, back pass and into the corner. And we're gonna go to the fourth quarter and a tie game in Ottawa, 9-9.
And this is something Ottawa's had to deal with all year. They've been a good second half, fourth quarter team. Can they come out and do it again? This time, not from behind at least.
That will be the question we will answer on the other side. Look of nervousness for Dan McRae and the Black Bears. It started well for Ottawa, but 5 straight from Philly has tied this up after 3.
Welcome back to Lacrosse Friends to Ottawa, where it is 9-9 after a big run for the Wings. Here's Brendan O'Neill rocketing one. He has been on fire. And here's a great move by Dalton Young to get his first goal. And then we're going to see O'Neill again. And then it's going to be a nice transition goal here. Look at Dustin Burkhoff take off. Looks very comfortable as he buries that one. And then Dalton Young, who scored the goal earlier, will make a great play to feed this through to Blaze Reardon. And we're all tied up. Ottawa has given up at least a 6-goal run in each of their first 3 games of the season. They really don't want that to happen again here coming into the fourth quarter.
Ottawa roared out of the gate with 4 straight goals, winning the quarter. Ottawa also had a 3-goal run between the second and the third, but that was quickly countered here by the Wings. Here's Stevens in, shot not to save the rebound loose. And a good save there from the young goaltender, and the Wings now have a chance to take their first lead of the night.
Great chance for Ottawa to break that run, but now O'Neill has it, Fennell, and the Wings will go right back to work.
Fennell, O'Neill, 5 on the game. Shot, Higgins reaching back, able to keep it out.
Fennell with 1 goal, 1 assist tonight, but he has been so integral to what they are doing offensively, helping to make other things go.
Ottawa back in possession. Teat to Hellier. Down to the corner. Taken by Connor Kiernan. Up top, here's the captain, Teat. Runs down, tries a surprise shot. Ball is loose in front. Quickly taken back as it's Pace.
Really good defensive shift from the Wings, Ryan Wagner in particular. Burkhoff is going to head off this time, but Philly's defense is coming together and doing much more of what Ian Rubel said he wants from them.
Out of the corner. Wings look for more here with Leclerc. Hands it off, spin move there, and a shot right on from Dalton Young, who's already got 1 tonight. Higgins has to make another save.
Young players like Dalton Young, you can see it when things go well. He scored that goal earlier, then the beautiful pass on the Reardon goal, and you can just see the spark, the jump in his game on that last shift.
Goal and 2 assists for Dalton Young. Right now, Ottawa pressing to try and get that lead back. Teat trying to find a way and spin around shot. Save not, rebound loose in behind. Fresh clock here for Ottawa to try and draw something up after another close call.
Teat was 2 steps from the bench going to make a change. Very responsible, but came right back into the play.
Rob Hellier. Over to Sundown. Sundown wants to let it go, missed the bottom corner. This ball bounces up into the stick of Hellier. 8 on the shot clock. Hellier fires over, in and out of the stick of Firth, who has to hurry. 4 left, and he realizes that a sharp angle shot. There's going to be a penalty here. It's going to be against Ottawa.
In the offensive zone, not one that you love to take, and this is Larson Sundown, who's been pretty quiet tonight, has a couple of assists, not a guy who takes a ton of penalties.
Ottawa penalty number 68, 2 minutes, illegal cross check.
That's going to give an edge here to Philadelphia on a night where power plays have been king.
Keep an eye in front of the net.
Yeah, Sundown took a pretty hard check from Liam Patton and just returned fire, and so often it's the retaliation that's going to be seen.
Philadelphia 2 for 2 tonight on the man up, going quickly to work, pass far side. Miss Fennell, Riordan picks it up. Back to the top, O'Neill. Play down, Riordan. Just to give this ball up there with Fennell.
It got up into the netting just above the glass.
So a chance for Ottawa here to take some time off the clock here, and a 9-9 game. Better yet, try and get one a man down. Earlier a drive, it skips wide of the goal. Taken back.
Guys come and set up.
O'Neill fakes the shot, ball quickly goes down low, Leclerc. Reardon, O'Neill, Reardon off the post, off the outside of the iron. Taken quickly back by Blaze Reardon. Pressure from Philadelphia, down low, and they score. First lead of the game, Phil Caputo on the power play. 10-9, Wings.
Now 4 straight games giving up runs of at least 6 goals by their opponents, and this one really stings. The great sweeping shot on top of the crease by Uncle Phil, and great ball movement by Philadelphia. And you're going to watch for Brendan O'Neill, especially tonight. He's got the 5 goals. You've got to watch Joe Rezaterets. You're going to keep an eye on Blaze Raritan, who scored a couple recently. You can't cover everybody, and Phil Caputo is the man who does not get any coverage there. He's right on the crease. He makes it count.
10-year veteran, good for his second of the season, and as you mentioned, it's 6 straight Philadelphia goals. Might be more here off of the draw. It's 3-on-1. Wings, though, will take their time. Ottawa's got to try and find some offense now down the stretch,
which they've had no problem doing. They've come back.
Kurt's trying to keep his man on the outside. Played back Fennell over to Brendan O'Neill towards the middle. Shot, scores! Give him 6. And the sock trick for Brendan O'Neill.
And he is just so dangerous. We talked earlier in the game about how he loves to come across the top. Most of his goals have been from different setups, but that is classic field lacrosse. That is classic setting it up for him to come across the top. He's such a dangerous shooter. Again, a pick from Eric Fennell. Not sure if Fennell's going to get an assist on this one, but that's a pick assist for sure from the glue guy, Fennell.
Tyler Carlson, the backup, is going to come in at least for a moment. Dan McRae looking for ways to try and stop what's now ballooned into a 7-goal Wings run.
They did give up 7 in a row last week against Vegas. Now they fell way behind because of that. And now they're only a couple goals down, but again, having to come back from a deficit.
Carlson in for his 199th career NLL game. O'Neill's got 6 and 2. 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points. The hole for Ottawa has now gotten a little bit deeper. O'Neill towards the middle, shot off of the post. This one up into the 3rd row and bouncing back onto the turf.
Almost the extra point on his touchdown, and that came about after a great effort by Chris Corbeil in the defensive zone to dive, looking like a younger Chris Corbeil. What a boon that is to Philly's defense, having him healthy and strong and looking like himself from several years ago.
Reardon plays far side. O'Neill has that one hit the referee, and that goes Philadelphia's way. That might have been over and back. There's the chance. Carlson makes the save on top of the crease. Taken here by the Black Bears. Stevens races over half.
You see, he was looking for a chance there, and Dan McRae did say, hey, if the offense is cooking, let's let them get set up. But if we haven't scored for a while, go push it in transition, look for something.
Zach Higgins back in the net now. Pass inside. O'Connor scores! Riley O'Connor. That's his hat trick, and Ottawa back within 1.
And that is another beautiful floater from Riley O'Connor, again on his offside. We've seen a few Ottawa goals. The team is loving him coming in. He is a vocal leader, and this is such a heads-up play. It's going to make the pass across as Kieran gets it going. And how quickly did Teep make that pass? Really quickly. Gets it over to Riley O'Connor, who just drifts that one over the shoulder once again and finds the little bit of space over in that top corner.
Got a penalty after the play as well here, Steven.
And this is going to be Dustin Burkhoff, and we've talked about what he brings positively with the goals, with the tough D. He also brings a lot of that. A little chop
for the unsportsmanlike.
Yeah. It's just not necessary. It's hard to turn that switch off when that's a big part of your game, is playing tough, being an agitator.
Opportunity, a man down. Chance to come around, and instead is pushed down there as we'll let off the draw. Had a pretty good opportunity to score there. 9:50 to go. Ottawa on the power play. Slashing Minor on Burkhoff will give Ottawa the chance to tie it up.
The National Lacrosse League makes its return to Edmonton on January 16th as the Georgia Swarm match up against the Calgary Roughnecks in the second ever NLL Unbox Series game. We want you to help bring the energy and excitement to Edmonton for a night to remember. Lyle Thompson and the Swarm, Tanner Cook and the Roughnecks. It's the 2026 NLL Unbox Series game, Friday, January 16th. Get tickets today.
This is the moment you waited all week for. It's Friday night. Whether you're at home or out on the town, it all starts here.
No, he didn't!
The weekend starts here.
Oh, what a move!
With NLL Friday night on TSN.
The NLL on ESPN and TSN is brought to you by Kilo. Stay energized for every moment of NLL action with Kilo. Visit drinkkilo.com. And by Hotel Planner. Travel smarter with exclusive NLL fan discounts at nll.hotelplanner.com. And by StubHub, your home for tickets to the speed and intensity of the NLL. Ottawa on a man up. Higgins is back in goal. A key moment here in this game. Ottawa led by 5 at one point, but now trails by 1. But the good news for the Black Bears, 3 for 3 tonight on the man up.
Yeah, and obviously they'd love to keep that rolling here. And what a job Riley O'Connor's been doing.
Got 3 tonight. Ball quickly. Fake from Hellier. Comes to Kieran, and good save from the Philadelphia goalkeeper, who's had a fine game. Knott sees that one off into the corner, comes back up top. Teets there. Hellier, no shot, goes in behind the Sundown in his office. Teet again. Goes back down, Sundown scores! Tie game!
That is not quite what we're used to seeing from Larson Sundown coming out from behind the net, but it is a goal from behind the net, his first goal of the night, and what a great play. There is his father who made those necklaces for the whole team, and he is wearing his proudly. There's Dan McCrae with his. There we go, Mr. Sundown, and young Mr. Sundown makes a lovely play on this one. What a pass from Jeff Teet, and Sundown, no dive there. He just comes out, quick feet, stays out of the crease, and rips that one far side again, going high, just over the shoulder of Deacon Knott to even this one up.
How about the special teams? Philadelphia 4 for 4, Ottawa 4 for 4. Nobody's blinked there. And with 9:05 to go, we are tied up again. 2-goal lead for Philadelphia, relatively short-lived. Goals from Riley O'Connor and Larson Sundown. Into the middle, chance to take the lead, and they score! Back at it again. Rob Hellier, 12-11, Black Bears.
They brought Rob Hellier in to make a difference, to add a little zest, a little spark to this offense. And does he ever here? You can see how happy they are for him. And it is just a lovely little piece of lacrosse with the great vision to make this pass. That is just Jeff Teet being Jeff Teet. He is so calm. Great story about how he, on IL Indoor from Dawson Nielsen, about Jeff Teet, the fastest player ever to get to 500 points, 72 games, and that's a big part of why, is that calmness, that poise. He's not making the big splashy plays necessarily. He's got 7 points tonight. Would you know it?
Business as usual. It's his second hat trick as a Black Bear. It's a quick 3-goal run. 3 goals in 1 minute and 8 seconds, Stephen. And all of a sudden the tables have turned again. Reardon moves over. Pass inside, and Higgins watches that one go off a defender in wide of the goal. Swept forward here, and Brownell has to stop and pick it up. And Ottawa would love to try and get a bit more breathing room here.
And I'm sure the veteran Brownell was thinking, I'm going to slow this down, but Jeff Teat was off the bench, first guy off the bench, and he had the hands up.
There's a shot, scores, and trickles in. Kiernan, and there is that 2-goal lead again.
You can hear the excitement in the building, which had really been drained out of it with that 7-goal Philadelphia run, but the Black Bears have been coming back all season. This time it's Kiernan. It's going to be a little delay on the goal, a little delay on the celebration, but what really counts is he will get this pass, let a quick release go. Knott gets a lot of it, not quite enough, and Kiernan will go and celebrate with the captain, who again made this pass.
5-point night for Connor Kiernan, 2 goals, 3 assists. Jeff Teat, a goal and 7 helpers. Now he's up to 8 points. Tying O'Neill. Here's another chance for Ottawa. There's a heavy check that goes in behind as Jake Stevens was just tossed down, and then he takes another bump from the goalkeeper, Knott.
They're going to call the illegal pick on that one.
Yeah. So Stevens' effort pays off. Ottawa by 2. 4 quick Ottawa goals, all within 1:47 seconds. It's that quick strike attack. Back into the middle, and McNabb looking for that blast.
How about the jump from the Black Bears on that shift? You get a couple of goals, it will just fire you up. They're setting hard picks, they're cutting through the middle, they're doing the things that have made them successful, and they got away from for a little while.
7:15 to go. Pass comes inside. It's kept out by Higgins. Good stop. Might have had some help there as well. Lifted forward. Here's Hellier. Black Bears trying to join quickly. Hellier's shot. Bit of a heat check there. Stopped by Knott.
We're past the midway point here in the fourth. And Ottawa has been digging fourth quarters this year.
Long drive. That one skips wide of the goal. It bounces up right on top of the Black Bears logo. It's held in by the Philadelphia Wings, who have been stunned here in this fourth. There's another bouncer, and all of a sudden nothing going Philadelphia's way as Young just puts that one up into the netting.
But you want to stay alert. That was a great look for Dalton Young, and you just can't, when you've got this momentum going, just leave somebody naked on the crease like that. That can be a momentum swinger.
6.5 to go in regulation. Double team comes on Kiernan. Shovel pass in tight. McNabb looking for his first as a Black Bear. That's a good save from Knott.
Yeah, he had to be sharp. A really nice one-hand shovel pass there from Kiernan, who is having his best game of the season production-wise.
Possession going Ottawa's way again as the Black Bears scored the last 4, continue to put their foot on the gas. Less than 6 to go now. O'Connor into Teat. 8 points on the night for Jeff Teat. There's a save from Knott. Now Foley looks towards the net. Patrick Foley is a key block there. Stevens got in the way of that. Might be a chance to run here. Stevens has a break. Jake Stevens in, scores! What a beauty! Ottawa by 3 again. Stevens just outweights Knott.
And gets the pass from Jeff Teat, who had gone back to play defense. I remember hearing from the previous Ottawa coach saying, you know what, if Jeff Teat wanted to, if we needed him to play D, he'd do it. He's full of us. If you want me to play D, I will. They don't, because he can do things like this. Score 10 points today. Now that's very close to the crease,
yep,
and the flag comes out. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Does he step in the white? So the Philadelphia bench would like another look at this one. So, referees will head over to the monitors, take a look. It's the 4th challenge today.
Bennett Drake is taking a look on the Ottawa bench, and Philadelphia's already got. Brent Colomb will point out he is heading in to have another look, and I will mention once again the reviews have been pretty quick, have been very efficient, and it was there were some long reviews early on, and look at this. The right foot comes down. Oh, it's close, I think. I mean, if you're saying indisputable, if there has to be no question, is it? They're going to look at a bunch of angles. Stevens was definitely close to the crease.
Is any part of that toe in the white?
The white shoes definitely make it a little harder to see. That's a smart move by Stevens to have the white shoes. I think just from the looks on the Ottawa bench, on the players, they might feel like this is coming back.
Jeff Teat has had the primary assist on the last 4 goals. If this one stands,
the overhead view should give us a really good idea of whether he's in the crease. There is a little bit of green as he goes
that's
forward.
a new angle there.
And then the body blocks it. I don't know. When you see that, I don't know that you can call it back. Is it irrefutable? You can see how great a look they have.
Yeah, they're looking at that one right there.
Great work from our crew to get those shots. That looks on the crease to me, right? The other angle looked not on the crease. Ooh.
Yeah, the angles can make things look different. It's not always clear cut. Call on the floor was a goal, so it does have to be clear and obvious.
Let's just keep looking. I mean,
that one there looks like there could be a toe in the crease.
Definitely comes down okay. He's outside the crease, the ball gets in. That's not an issue.
That one not as clear.
No, this one looks like there's a bit of green. Now, when he starts moving, his body blocks it, so you can't actually see as he rolls up. You're going to roll forward on your toes. Did not put them into the crease.
Decision has been made from the referees. Key moment here in this one.
Upon review, it was determined that the player had stepped in the crease prior to the ball crossing the goal line. We have no goal.
Brent Cologne was adamant. He stepped into the crease. He really landed. And you know what? Yeah, sell that call, because I think, and Dan McRae doesn't like it. He's saying, Dan McRae is saying, we looked, we watched this replay. He's not in the crease. We saw the green. But, you watch it, and I mean, it's such a fine line. I'm not going to argue. I think they had a great look at it on the monitor. Again, great work job by our crew to get the shot of the refs seeing the close-up.
So, back to a 2-goal game. 13-11, Ottawa leads in tight, and look at that. Philadelphia right back with an answer. And now it is a 1-goal game again.
Dalton Young almost had one as he drives in. I was thinking what a swing that would be to go from 14-11 to a quick goal the other way. And here it's Fennell. And defensively, this is just, you wonder how nobody is even in the frame with Eric Fennell as he gets that pass on top of the crease. I mean, you don't need to get up the floor. You just need to watch that guy who's lingering as that loose ball is collected.
Fennell's got 2 in his return to Ottawa, along with 2 assists. And buckle up with 5 minutes to go. This back and forth affair is now back to a 1-goal Ottawa lead. Dornbeer wins that draw. Noseworthy's pushed down hard, takes a couple of whacks, but keeps the ball for his team. Paid the price to do so.
Late change for Ottawa. They've got 15 on the shot clock as they get to work on offense.
Team pushed to the outside, comes to Hellier. Another productive night for Rob Hellier. Shot, that one stopped. Ottawa will try and race to this one to get a fresh clock. Taken by Teat. A bounce pass, Hellier. Trot down, and the talented righty will look over to the middle. O'Connor down to the corner, pass over to Hellier again. Hellier into the middle, shot, and in tight quarters, Riley O'Connor was denied. Just over 4 minutes to go. Corbeil will stop up, and the 37-year-old will let the offense take over.
And a young player may have gone to the net there. Probably a good decision by Corbeil to pull it out, let the offense set up, but Boy, it's tempting to take that shot when you have a good lane.
Career night for Brendan O'Neill. Winds in, shot, Higgins makes the save. Rebound to Callum Jones, hand on his stick, pushes forward. Jones will backpedal as he faces pressure. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Ottawa leads by 1.
Jones, nice job under some withering defensive pressure to hang on. He wants to get that ball to a forward and get off the floor.
8 on the clock and then counting. Shot, not makes the save. Rebound is quickly picked up and taken back by Patton. Patton head down, long strides, plays forward, in tight, shot denied. That was Ryan Wagner trying in transition. Cut some of the post there as well. Here's Hellier back the other way, over, scores, Teat! The captain has its 9th points, and Ottawa by 2.
Rob Hellier with a great look at the net. That is a good shooting angle, so Knott has to stay on him, has to respect that. And that late cross-body pass by Hellier, what a beauty. And the captain, he has not been scoring a lot tonight in terms of putting the ball in there. He's been setting it all up, but this time, the beautiful quick stick finish. That is just lovely. And Teat immediately looking over to Rob Hellier. This is just such a good pass. And the quick release, and the beautiful thing about the pass, the timing, because you know the guy's coming out to cover you, and it is right in the shooting spot. Remember we saw one earlier, Leclerc got the pass down by the hip? That one's perfect.
Teat's got 2 goals, 7 assists, another 9-point effort for Teat, his second 9-point effort of the season, at 5 and 4 against the Rush. Earlier on in the year, Teat's at it again, Hellier. Scores! Rob Hellier! 4th of the night, and Ottawa's big guns have come out to play here with just a couple minutes to go.
They just had to give the lead away so they could get this roll going. They're apparently more comfortable playing from behind. They certainly have done a good job of it. Obviously, they didn't do it on purpose, but great response here. Hellier with a lovely finish, and again, that's Teat making that pass. And once again, Connor Kiernan will not get an assist, will not get a point on this, but look at the effort he makes here to just shove that defender out of the way and then stay in the way, giving Hellier that opportunity.
Hellier, 4th of the night. Teat's got the assist, so giving him a season-high 10 points in a single game, and Ottawa has a 3-goal lead, which, as we know, Stephen, is not safe. Dalton Young circles in behind. Goaltender to the bench here. Extra attacker on Philadelphia. Trying to draw back within a couple of goals. Ottawa scored 6 here in the 4th quarter. O'Neill, it's played over. Now down and behind the goal. Reardon thought about that shot, played back to O'Neill. He's got already 6 on the game. Good deflection. It's going to stay with Philadelphia.
And that's, pretty early to start pulling the goaltender, but you're down by 3. And we are actually a late media break because there's been just nothing but goals. You can't go to the break on a goal.
Big night from O'Neill, but a bigger night from Teat and Hellier, and Ottawa leads late.
Ottawa has played well late in games, and they are really doing it here. Teat is going to be involved in a lot of this. That's a beauty from Riley O'Connor. Another great pass, this one to Sundown, and Ottawa is on a roll. What's common there? Teat passing, this time to Hellier. I don't think we're seeing the last of Teat. That is a shot though from the outside, and that one just trickles through. Kiernan is pretty happy to be contributing there, and what a run for these Ottawa Black Bears.
Ottawa's last 7 minutes and 55 seconds scored 6 of the last 7 goals. And 5 Black Bears have multi-goal games. Goaltender remains on the bench here for the Wings. Shot off of the glass. This one pops up, stays in play. 15 on the clock, taken back by O'Neill. Resetier's far side, back to O'Neill. His pass out of the reach of his intended target. Net is empty. Noseworthy in a race into the back of the goal, and that should do it for the Black Bears, up by 4.
4 goals is pretty tough to come back from in a minute 37, and Brent Noseworthy, who's had a pretty solid game, one of the veterans, one of the guys who's been here for the long haul, and there's Larson Sundown's dad. They are all appreciating the necklaces he made for them, and they are appreciating this effort by Noseworthy, who goes up high to get that one. Again, this guy was a goalie for most of his lacrosse career. Look at the wheels though from the big man, and then gets the shot off, and he's got a defender in him. Can't get the defender out of the guy. He lays a little hit after he scores that goal, his second of the season.
Had a big shorthanded goal last week in Las Vegas, and then that one might just put it away. 90 seconds to go. What a late run by the Black Bears, who have scored 7 of the last 8 goals. Neal looking for his 7th, already a career night, just missed there. Ball pops up. Back pass down to Resetier's. Works out of the corner. High slot area. Roams and is intercepted. The goaltender's back in the net right now for Philadelphia. No race down the floor for Brownell. He watches the clock tick, under a minute to go. It was a pretty tense second half here for the Black Bears, but it's that late push here. Looks like it's gonna get it done for Ottawa.
And I don't think Brownell was going to the net, even if Deacon Knott was nowhere near it. Ottawa quite happy at this point to just let the seconds tick away. 16 goals is plenty.
Played in, McNabb looking for his first with Ottawa. Stop there from Knott. And taken back. Last chance here for Philadelphia Wings. Shot right on, and Higgins makes that save. Ottawa's previous high in goals this year was 13. That was in a loss to San Diego. 10 seconds to go. Fans in the Canadian Tire Center rise to their feet. Ottawa led for most of the night, but did have to come back from a 2-goal deficit. But they get the win over Philadelphia by 4, and the Black Bears even their record at 2-2.
And Dan McRae, the staff, they talk about the response. You know, what kind of response can you have? You can't let teams keep going on a run. Well, they did let Philly go on a run, but they responded, and that is the mark of a resilient team. And I thought it was a pretty impressive performance mentally by the Black Bears to not get cowed, not to get, we talked about, hey, what happens when you start giving up a run? Do you think, oh, here we go again? They did to an extent, but they bounced back, and that's big.
Time now for the 3 stars of the game, presented by TFL. Certainly no shortage of options here. Hellier certainly in the picture. Hellier, Brendan O'Neill had a career night with 6 goals. And a big part of that Philadelphia comeback there in the second half. But Teat, double-digit points, 2 goals, 8 assists, rounding out our TFL 3 stars here tonight.
And we showed Jeff Teat with the goal there. He had a couple of those, but every time we've been showing highlights, it's Teat making a pass. All those primary assists. You pointed out at one point, he had primary assists on 4 straight goals. He has
He is down on the floor with Brienne.
Riley, a hat trick on the game tonight, a lot of aggression. How did you like your play, especially playing with Rob Hellier and Jeff T tonight?
Yeah, winning's fun, and 16 is a great number. You're going to win most nights with that, so a great team effort.
How did you like the resiliency of your team, you know, giving up 7 runs in a row and then being able to come back from that?
Yeah, it's a game of runs, and I thought we stayed composed and handled it well, and you know, wore them down and pulled it out in the 4th.
And having Higgins back there doesn't hurt, right?
He's unbelievable. Yeah, we're so lucky and grateful to have him.
Awesome, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that 7-goal run, Brienne, certainly a cause for concern again for Ottawa, but the Black Bears score 7 of the last 8 goals to pick up win number 2 on the season. Well, all sorts of up and downs here tonight, but a terrific finish in Ottawa for the Black Bears.
It really was, and Connor Kiernan is going to share a bear with a young fan, but that is what Ottawa is looking for, is that resilience, is that return, response, and they did a great job of it when things were going a bit sideways.
Happy holidays from all of us. Happy New Year. Brienne Foley, Stephen Stamp, myself, Matt Cullen, and all our hard-working crew during this holiday period. Thanks for joining us, and good night from Ottawa.